And before we get started, I would really love if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you.
What's going on, everyone? It's Tremaine from The Last Rewind. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That would be greatly appreciative. I'm gonna get into this real quick because this wasn't planned, but I had to put my 2 cents in on this topic. Being a diehard wrestling fan, so I don't know if you know this, but Jeff Hardy of the Hardy Boys, he came out recently on an interview and he said if it wasn't for his lifestyle choices and the way he carried himself in his 20s and 30s, he could have been bigger than Cena. Now, let's stop and ponder that for a second. When I first heard it, I was like, but then after really diving deep into that, he is absolutely correct. Let me know how you feel. Um, Jeff Hardy is a household name. He got his start with his brother Matt in the late 90s, early 2000s as part of the tag team, the Hardy Boys. They are multiple tag team champions. They are the the founders and the godfathers of the TLC match, along with Edge and Christian, have done tremendous work in the wrestling business in itself. They come from a wrestling family from North Carolina. They're from North Carolina. Um, but Jeff said if it wasn't for his lifestyle choices in his 20s and 30s, he potentially could have been bigger than Cena. And I think it's very well documented that Jeff Hardy had a substance issue. He was doing drugs. He had an alcoholism issue, and that was the hurdle that he could not ever get over to become, you know, what he could have been. And let's face facts. Around the 2008 2009 time frame, Jeff Hardy was big in WWE on SmackDown. Jeff Hardy was a champion. He had a long-standing feud with CM Punk, and they were playing into the whole substance abuse with the rehab. And Punk was straight edge, and Punk didn't do drugs, and they were really playing to that. It was kind of a art imitating life situation. They were really playing to that. He had a big storyline, and he was the champion off and on during that period. So Jeff Hardy was cooking around that time. And this is around the time when Cena was in the company, but he wasn't where he is now or where he ended up being. But I believe that Jeff Hardy had a very good point when he said, if it wasn't for his lifestyle choices, he would have been bigger than Cena. I believe obviously Vince McMahon and the powers that be had a say in that because you know you got to represent the company, and obviously they don't want a drug addict or a drug abuser like Jeff Hardy was then representing the company, and Cena was your clean cut, all American dude, and they gave him a gimmick and they ran with it. The difference is they shoved Cena down our throats. They the WWE shoved Cena down our throats. Jeff Hardy was organic. It was natural. People like Jeff Hardy just organically and natural. He had this charisma about him. It was the face paint, it was the entrance. He had one of the best finishing combos. And when I say combos, hear me out on this one. Not only did he have the Swanton Bomb, but he had the Twist of Fate as well. And when I tell you, Jeff Hardy was the person I would get on, I think it was Bring the Pain, the SmackDown video game, Bring the Pain. He was the first person I will always get because his combination of signatures, for me, it always worked. You could hit the Twist of Fate and then you hit the Swanton. And Jeff Hardy was hitting that damn Swanton Bomb off of ladders, off of tables, off of the Titantron, off of the top rope. It was graceful. In his younger days, it wasn't just like a front flip like most people do now. It was graceful. He was just kind of spread out in the air, pause, no homo, and just front flip on top of the part. And it was a real graceful move. And again, this is a sober Jeff Hardy. So I am 100% in agreement with Jeff Hardy when he says if he was sober, he would have been up there with John Cena, if not exceeded the likes of one John Cena. Don't get me wrong, John Cena did tremendous things for the company as well. I won't take that away from him, but to me, John Cena was kind of forced upon us because it was good for the company at the time. He was the poster child for the company at the time. Again, I think if in the '08 and '09 time frame, the two better entertainers in the company were Jeff Hardy and CM Punk, and that storyline between them off and on was tremendous. I believe the Jeff Hardy's demons got the best of him, unfortunately, and it stifled his career. But I do believe if he did not go through what he went through, we are Jeff Hardy is in a different bracket when it comes to WWE entertainers, and he is up there amongst the Cenas, and he's probably still performing on a regular basis at this point. I mean, his everything about Jeff Hardy was on point. I mean, people will wear his shirts. He had the arm sleeves. He had the face paint. I mean, his matches were top tier. Those were classics with CM Punk, if I recall. He even had a couple classics with Undertaker around that time frame when he was on SmackDown. His matches was top notch. To me, '08, '09, Jeff Hardy was slightly above mid card, but he could have been elite if he got his shit together and his demons didn't get the best of him. I was a Jeff Hardy fan, still a Jeff Hardy fan. I believe recently he and his brother Matt were, in the on in the ring singing, I think Shy, If I Ever Fall in Love. And it was good to see. It's good to see that he's somewhat. He looks like he's getting his life together and things are going good for him now. I'm happy to see that, but I do believe if we if we get sober Jeff Hardy around '08, '09, we are we are we got a different story to tell about Jeff Hardy at this point. At that point, Jeff Hardy is in the ranks of your Cenas, your Ortons, your Rollins, those type cats. Now, I don't know if he'll still be performing or wrestling on a regular, but his history, I mean, actually, his history is already cemented. But if he got his stuff together back then, I believe his history is stamped amongst your Cenas. And I'll say, I think he would have been better than Cena. Jeff Hardy could wrestle. He was good on the mic. He was a high flyer, so he didn't just have a ground attack. He had an aerial attack. Everything worked for him. And it's unfortunate that, his demons got the best of him, but he is still a tremendous performer, still a great performer. I'm happy to see that he got his things together. And I just had to do this hot take really quick because right now that's something going around right now, and it was asked by Jeff Hardy. He said it in an interview himself, and most are agreeing with his take, and most are agreeing with what he said. Let me know if you agree with Jeff Hardy, as if by saying he could be Cena like or bigger than Cena if he, stayed on the right path. We want to Red and I want to thank you. We want to thank you for just watching the videos. We're going to continue to put out content. So like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And again, this one this one was impromptu, so bear with me, but I'll see you in the next one. Peace.